Today, I stand in front of the National Assembly in Quebec. In Quebec, like in Alberta and other provinces, we have been very concerned for decades about the erosion of provincial autonomy. Canada's federal system was designed to ensure a clear division of powers between the federal and provincial governments as outlined in our Constitution. However, over the years, the federal government has increasingly encroached our areas on provincial jurisdictions, creating what can be only described as imperial federalism. This overreach has centralized power in Ottawa, undermining the autonomy of provinces and territories. The federal government now interferes in a whole bunch of areas where it has no business, such as health care, education, natural resources, housing, local infrastructures, and many others. Many other areas that are explicitly under provincial control. This intrusion has led to inefficiencies, duplication of services, and a lack of accountability. Instead of letting provinces address the unique needs of their population, the federal government imposes one-size-fits-all solutions that often fail to consider regional differences. The federal government also constantly uses its so-called spending power, which does not exist in our Constitution, to intervene in provincial exclusive jurisdictions. We see this in healthcare. Ottawa transfers $52 billion every year to provinces, and in exchange for this money, it forces them to keep a bureaucratic socialist system that is the worst performing of all developed countries. Hundreds of thousands of Canadians are on waiting lists, and many die while waiting. The Trudeau Liberals have even created a whole bunch of entirely new unconstitutional national programs such as pharmacare, daycare, and dental care. They give billions to provinces and then dictate how to spend the money, even though these are provincial jurisdictions. This undermines the principles of federalism and stifles innovation at the provincial level. The result is a bloated, inefficient federal bureaucracy that prioritizes central control in Ottawa over local decision-making. This trend of imperial federalism threatens the very foundation of Canadian democracy. By concentrating power in Ottawa, the federal government is eroding the ability of provinces to govern efficiently and respond to the needs of their citizens. It also creates dissatisfaction and feeds the separatist movement in Quebec and in Alberta. The People's Party believes it is time to restore the balance of power and return to a system of true federalism that respects the Constitution and empowers provinces to take charge of their own affairs. We will respect provincial jurisdictions and end all federal intrusion into areas of provincial responsibility, such as healthcare, education, and natural resources. To replace healthcare transfer to provinces, we will give the provinces control over the GST, which will allow them to raise equivalent amounts of money to pay for health services. But they will be free to manage their healthcare system the way they want and innovate to offer better care. We will also get rid of Ottawa's unconstitutional spending power and abolish all the new national programs created by the Trudeau government. We will also review all federal programs to identify and eliminate those that overlaps with provincial responsibilities. It's time for Ottawa to mind its own business. It cannot even manage its own core responsibilities properly. It fails to protect us against mass immigration. Our military has become a joke. Our debt has exploded. Spending on Indigenous issues has tripled under Trudeau, but Indigenous Canadians have not seen any results. It's completely ridiculous that the federal government is also trying to do the jobs of provinces when everything is broken in Ottawa. You cannot expect the Liberals, of course, to do anything about any of this. They are for the statu quo. They are part of the imperial federalism. They are the party of centralization. They only have one goal: to centralize power more in Ottawa. Pierre Poilievre and his fake conservatives won't do anything either. Poilievre confirmed just yesterday that he will not cut any of Trudeau's new social program. The Conservative Party is only conservative in one sense. It conserves everything the Liberals have done. That is the Conservative Party of Canada. It's time for reforms. The PPC will fix Ottawa and fix our federation. Thank you. Merci.
S'il y a des questions pour la presse, levez la main. If there's any questions from the press, please raise your hand.
Tu répètes la question?
Répète la question.
S'il y a des questions de la part de la presse, les gens qui sont sur le Zoom, please, s'il vous plaît, levez la main. If there's any questions from the press, if you have any questions, raise your hand. Nous n'avons pas de questions.
OK. Vous n'avez pas de questions?
Pas de questions.
Je vais sortir.
Bon, c'est une bonne affaire qu'il n'y ait pas de questions.
Oui, mais ça...